That's right. We're getting back into this. You might have thought that I wouldn't come back, but I'm having fun. So it's basically the extent of what I need to say there. I'm having fun, and I like it. So we're gonna keep doing it. Let me know how the audio is while I go and allow people to know what's going on in the schedule. We need to let people in the schedule know that we're going to continue. What did I do last time? It was like, what's going on, 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 what's going on? Is that what I did? I think it's something like that. Like, what's going on? There we go. Letting people on the Discord know we're about to play some vampires. Just so that people have a chance, if they want to come in to continue our vampiric adventures. And if you don't want to continue our vampiric adventures, at least you know you weren't here before, so you're like, oh man, I want to catch up first. All of them are on YouTube as of today, so there you go. Was gonna stream earlier, but didn't want to interrupt Aaron with his new game that he was doing. Kind of wanted to play it though. Like, it looked really cute. You know what I mean? You guys will get the meme if you were there. All right, so what are you guys up to? It's me, Summoner Blue. We're about to play some Vampire, the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. Coteries. Haven't watched the first of these streams, so I'll have to catch the VODs, have fun. They are all on YouTube if you'd like to go watch them there. Much preferred to get some watches on those if you want to dodge. But if you don't feel like it, that's fine. Go ahead and watch the VOD on the Twitch side of things. Either way is good. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I'm gonna show you guys a neat. First off, before I show said neat, you need to understand that I don't fully understand it yet. Arteries of New York. There you go. We'll just call them arteries. I don't really understand these things yet, and I might have messed them up. Mostly saying that because they look like they are messed up. Yes. Ah, dang it. Hold on. There's got to be a way to fix them. There we go. Rewards. There we go. Let's manage those. Turn on smart costs. Yeah, turn on smart costs. There we go. There we go. That looks a lot better. That looks like the points are distributed a little bit easier. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. So guys, there are points on YouTube, or not YouTube. There are points on Twitch now that you can mess around with if you're streaming. And those points can give you some pretty neato things. And just for a slight preview of those neat things you can do, I'm going to do one of them right now, and hopefully, I don't think I can give it out to anybody, unfortunately. It'd be really cool if I could like just throw those out at people. It'd be really cool if I could just like hand them off to you guys, like you guys can have them. I'll see if I can like make the. You know what? I honestly could. Hold up. Watch this shit. We'll unlock this one first. I'll share it. I'll put it in the thing. Guys, I have an idea. First off, there's your Christmas buddy. Let's see if we can do some other Christmas related things here. Do you think we can do it? I don't even know. Emerald, we're trying something weird, alright? I'm gonna see if I can cheese the system. It's gonna be great. At least for today. Just today, guys. We're gonna see if we can give a taste of this. So edit. Well, why don't we just say one? Why don't we just do that? So, guys, I just made the ability to modify emotes 100 channel points. I think that's as low as I can go. So you should have 300 channel points in your little thing below. Like if you look at the little orb thingy at the bottom, you should have 300 points. I'm not sure if that's the case all around or not. But I just put it at 100. So you can now edit any of my emotes for 100 points. So you too can have your Santa buddies for 24 hours if you guys decide to, or any of the other emotes on here. Go ahead. Just letting you guys know. For today's stream only, which will bleed into tomorrow's stream because, you know, that's just how it's going to be. So if you want to use them during during Avatar, you definitely can. For today's streams only, all of the emotes can be messed around with for 100 emote points. So if you look down, again, just to let everybody know, in the bottom, you guys should say a thing that says 300 points for the channel points or whatever. If you want to, you can use any of our emotes on there for 100 points today. You unlock it for 24 hours to use them all over the Twitch. And just 100 points to edit, and you get more points if you watch more. It's kind of neat. We'll probably not do this often because it kind of takes away, you know, the reason to subscribe to the channel. It kind of takes that away. But for today, go ahead. You guys, yeah, there you go. Y'all have them. You can all have them. Have free emotes. Free emote day. All right. They're all weird, and they're not all going to work very well. Free emote day. Go ahead. Go for it. Everybody have them. It's the lowest I can probably make them. Go do it. We're going to load. So this game is Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries in New York. It's a visual novel. We've already done one stream of it. It's about 4 hours, a little bit over maybe. Don't we need to sub to get in? Don't we need to sub to get any of the most? Basically, you can use any of them. If you use the thing below, even if you aren't subbed, you can use channel points to make emotes, even if you aren't subbed. Yeah, it's a neat thing they added. But you know, it's because you guys can watch the streams, you know? It's like points you accumulate from watching the stream. And again, they're not usually this cheap. I'll basically make them go back up to normal time later. So just, you know, today they're really cheap. Anyway, vampire dating game. No. Not a dating game, to my knowledge. It's a visual novel, which is just, you know, a dating game, without the dating. We did one stream of this already. It was about 4 hours or so. You guys missed about 4 hours or so of stuff if you haven't seen the last one. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube if you want to go watch that instead of watching me right now. But basically, we're a girl named Velvet. This isn't us. This is our master. We're a girl named Velvet. We got bitted. Now we're a young Velvet, and we're trying to get friends. Basically, we met a crazy girl, and now she's our friend. And we helped her with drug stuff. And we met a dude outside of a church, and he's not really our friend. But we're gonna see if we can go find more friends. It's gonna be great. Let's go. Also, it does this every now and then. So I have to Alt-Enter to bring it back down. The best one, I will say, is Santa Buddy. Santa Buddy is honestly the best emote you guys can make. Santa Buddy is the best emote you guys can make. I'm wanting to see. Can you guys even modify? You guys can even modify, I think. Can you guys modify Blue Love? Can you guys get up to that far? Can you guys get Blue Love and Blue Excite? Because I think those aren't those like my next tiers up ones? Can you guys work with those? You can't work with those. I can work with those. I guess those are still locked to the people who give a lot of money. So I can go like Blue Excite with the Santa hat, and it works okay. It's not great. It's not fantastic, but it works. Yeah, I guess those are still for people who give more money. Like I like that actually. I do like that's the case, because if they would have made it to where just anybody could use those, then that would really be a punch in the dick to those people who give me like more money. So I'm glad that they do that. But you guys have plenty of other ones, hopefully. That day while you lick me, or that day while you kick me. But yeah, Santa Buddy is best buddy. Glad you works with a heck yeah, Phantom. It works. It works. It's fine. So last time we went to a church and we went to see our crazy lady friend. We're gonna see these guys later probably, but first we have to rest because the sun's about to come up and then we'll die, and we don't want to die, so we're just gonna leave. Not long after you wake up tonight, Gregory, motherfucking Gregory, knocks on the door of your apartment. Gregory, for those of you who are uninitiated fucks, is our driver, and he's a badass. I'm playing, sorry. Hey, I came to pick you up. Miss Langley wants to see you. This is the first time we've seen Gregory portrait! This is Gregory! This is the first time we've seen his portrait. I've never seen Gregory's portrait. You guys count yourselves lucky you were in stream today. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you know what she needs me for? What if I don't want to see her? Well, my freedom was good while it lasted. Do you know what she needs me for, Gregory? Any idea what she needs me for? I'm not in the position to ask. He smiles politely. The car's waiting, shall we? You wrestle with the same thoughts as a few nights ago. Maybe you should just leave. Disappear. Let Sophie find someone else to employ. But then you remember the Anarch thug being cut down by Kadir, and how close you were to the same fate, not even a week ago. And that it might still happen if you step out of line. You follow suit. As with your previous visit here, Sophie seems not entirely present when you enter. Her eyes are locked onto one of the paintings in the room. You're pretty sure it's been here before, but she's behaving as if she's seeing it for the first time in her life. Entirely entranced. Guys, I still have alcohol. Hold on. Is it slush? Oh my god, I have slush alcohol.
Hey, a new guy. Did you know the Phantom Thieves?
It's a slush because my fridge doesn't know how to actually cool things well. Lonzo, thank you for the tier 1 sub, man. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I have the alcohols. It's not great. It's not great alcohols, but you know it'll work. Entirely entranced. Gregory clears his throat. Sophie turns to the both of you, a bit of irritation in her countenance, which soon gives way to a pleasant, warm smile. You're here. Excellent. Thank you, motherfucking Gregory. Her driver leaves as she turns her attention to you. I hope you had a few good nights and made some new acquaintances, but I have to say, I'm happy to see you, Velvet. Thank you for coming. The change in mood in the room is sudden and startling. It makes you consider the true power of vampiric charisma. Rationality, you know before being manipulated. Or rationally, you know you're being manipulated, but you don't even care. Her eyes, her motions, her entire body language all feel 100% genuine in expressing legitimate interest in you and your well-being. I have a request for you this night. I need you to find somebody for me and make a delivery. She points to the statue on the side of the apartment. You notice a plain-looking pen drive lying on the corner, right next to where the inanimate archer's bow touches the pedestal. The man you'll be looking for calls himself Kaiser. He has eyes and ears all around New York, and it's rare for something to happen here without his knowledge. I need you to take this memory stick and bring it to him. In exchange, he will give you an address, which I need to know as soon as possible. You're about to ask what's on the drive, but Sophie proves to be one step ahead of you. Oh, don't worry about the contents. They are encrypted. A precaution if the data fell into the wrong hands, but it won't. Yes? She gives you a smile that just a handful of nights ago would make you feel like melting. Have you ever tried whipped cream vodka? Dude, I have not tried hardly any alcohols. I drink like once or twice a year. I was given this one the other day by my uncle. I usually only drink like New Year's. I don't usually drink, and if I do drink, it's nothing big or special. Oh, and Velvet, Kaiser is a Nosferatu, that twisted, deformed lineage of kindred. He is old, and his age made him even more paranoid than others of his clan tend to be. He holds many havens, and changes them often. From what I have gathered, him or one of his servants should be found at the park in Coney Island tonight. You'll have to identify them somehow. I'm told Kaiser has spent many of these nights the past few years, being driven around the city in a black limo. Maybe keep your eyes open for it. That smile again, but shorter. Anything more on Kaiser? Anything more you can tell me about Kaiser? He's been here a long time, about as long as I have. He's got into a lot of trouble for trading information to both the Anarchs and the Camarilla before, but ultimately got away with it scot-free. Kaiser's web of information proved to be strong enough to shield him from the consequences of playing both sides. Some say it's the proof, or the best proof of his I can speak. Some say it's the best proof of his abilities. In any case, be careful when talking to him. He's very particular about everyone's etiquette except his own. Good night, and good luck. She flashes one last smile at you and turns back to the painting. Clearly done with the conversation, you pocket the memory stick and head out toward Coney Island. It takes you the better part of an hour to reach the lights and sounds of Coney Island Amusement Park from the city. The drive is almost pleasant at this time of night. Thank God for Belt Parkway. There's plenty of people here tonight, but nobody who stands out as a traveling purveyor of secrets. Then again, if they did stand out, it would have been kind of pointless, right? Nothing to do but figure out the right approach. Ask around for Kaiser or search for Kaiser. Asking around sounds like really dumb stupid, really stupid dumb. I don't want to be a big stupid dumb. Spend all day catching on Pokemon free? Heck yeah. Those of you who came in, you can get some neato edited emotes for 100 channel points down below. Just look at them. It's pretty neat. Anywho, what are you doing, buddy? Come on in. Come on. Come on. Push it open. Come on. Come on. Push open the door. Come on. What a dumb dog. Let me go close the door, because I was wanting him to push it open, because he needs to freaking learn. I'll be right back. And there I am, being the back. Welcome. Welcome, me. Thank you, me. Still weird hearing Camarilla pronounced that way. It's been pronounced that way in Bloodlines as well, but it's still weird. That's the first time I heard it was Camarilla. How's it supposed to be pronounced, Disno? I will search for signs of Kaiser. There's plenty of nooks and crannies to investigate here, but if Kaiser frequents this area, there has to be some clue to grab onto, right? You spend a good hour snooping around, eyes peeled for the black limo Sophie mentioned, or any sign of the Nosferatu, or any vampire has been in this haven in around these parts. Like it has a huh? Like it has a what in it is though? Camarilla. Camarilla? Oh, so like the L's are silent? So it's supposed to be Camarilla? Camarilla? That's interesting. Look at that Santa buddy. Good job. Camarilla? Camarilla? I think both of them would probably be good. It sounds a little bit more. It does sound a little bit more kind of like foreign-ish. It does sound a little bit more. Yeah, Spanish is what I was trying to say. Camarilla, Camarilla, or Camarilla. Yeah, I like it. I'll probably go between saying them. Are you late, Savage Virus? You are a little bit late. If you look for, here's the thing, because you're late, I have to explain this once again, and everybody's gonna be so freaking mad at me for explaining it so many times. If you look below, you see channel points, Savage Virus. You should have 300 of them. I've made it for today only. You guys can use some of those points to edit emotes for just 100 points. Basically giving you guys a free emote for 24 hours, something like that. So you can use it in today's stream as well as later today's stream, the Avatar game. But yes, Santa Buddy is the one I recommend. Zilch. Annoyed, you turn back to the lights in the amusement park and find there's a man standing in your way. He's got an oversized jacket on him and an air of a junkie or a dealer. Who knows what he's got in his pockets? You lost? Not lost, just sightseeing. Just taking in the sights. Sure you are. He looks at you intently like he's trying to guess your real purpose here. Get out of here before I kick your ass. Yeah, a lot of them don't turn out very great. Although, that one's pretty good. I like that one. Good thing you guys have, like, what, 3 chances? And if you keep watching, you get more points, so. I'm just looking for a guy. Chill. I'm just looking for a guy. Drives around in a black limo. Stops here sometimes. Ring any bells? No idea what you're yapping about. He's a terrible liar, clearly full of shit. Hey, give me your phone. Hey, give me your phone and go fuck yourself. How about that? Sound good, buddy? Give me your phone and go for a swim in the bay. It's a hunch. You give that simple order, and the man can do little to resist. He produces his phone. It's a fancy model. Doesn't look like anything readily available on the market. Hands it to you and turns away and starts walking. The phone's locked, but a recent smudge on the screen gives you a rough idea of what the combination might be. You get it right on the second try. There's just one number in the phone book, unlabeled. You choose it, hear someone pick up. The voice is like a rusty pitchfork shoveling gravel. Jackie, you're messing up my snuff session here. Better be something big. Hi, I have something you left from something for you from Sophie Langley. Care to come pick it up? Silence, not even a sound. The call ends. You try calling again, but the number is blocked. Nothing to do but wait and see if he shows up. Not 15 minutes pass before a black limo stops near where you're waiting. One door opens an invitation. Inside of the limo used to be a luxury lounge, the kind with a stripper pole and a bar full of alcohol, but none of that currently. Instead, there are just monitors and consoles. Crimson Dragon, what you guys doing? Crimson Dragon, I'm gonna keep it brief. Below, 300 points. You can edit for 100 points. Grab a Santa buddy. Anyway, Same thing night-wise. Instead, there are monitors and consoles. Dozens of displays, each one showing something different. Surveillance camera footage, stock market quotes, television news, emails, tweets, silent movies, lo-fi footage of a gory torture session. You wonder if the limo's owner can focus on anything when surrounded by all the visual noise, and then realize there's nobody there. Or is there? Crimson. Follow my directions. Below. There you go. There you go. There you go. Good job. How long does it let you keep these? 24 hours. You guys can do it again. Basically, anytime I stream, you guys can do this stuff again. It'll probably be more expensive next time, because, again, otherwise I'm taking away the incentive for people to stream, or to subscribe to the stream. But right now, for this day, and maybe some days in the future, maybe I'll do it just randomly, you guys can do these for now. It didn't take any points from you? Good job. He blinks into existence on a leather-covered couch, attempting to maintain something that approximates a regal presence. You're 100% sure that's Kaiser. Surrounded by the dimmed computer screen lights, his features are even more ghastly than you imagined. All sharp angles of twisted bone, severed flesh, and crooked teeth. He bears them in an awful parody of a smile. Suddenly, somebody grabs you from behind, twists your arm, and pushes your head against the car's roof. I got him, boss! I have him! The Nosferatu chuckles. Oh, wait, no, that was this guy's voice, because the other guy was like this. Ah, yeah, I wanted to go like kind of Ryuk-ish with this one. Oh, congratulations, dickweed. Could have done that before you gave away the fucking phone. Just let them go already. But you're going to make me repeat yourself. You're going to make me repeat myself, you thick motherfucker? He lets go. You have a look at him. The man's confused and soaking wet. He flashes you an angry stare, but obeys his boss's orders to the letter. Well, you waiting for a formal invitation? Get in the car. We have some talking to do. The doors close behind you. So, Langley, huh? I'm guessing you got something for me then? You reluctantly pull the flash drive from your pocket and slowly pass it to Kaiser. He plugs it into a USB port in the arm of the chair and displays the data on one of the screens that happen to be turned away from you. It takes him about a minute to access the data. I pressed the button and it didn't work. Who do you people think I am? I've seen this footage a week ago. He plugs the pen drive out and throws it back at you in disgust. Tell Sophie the deal's off. She wants her address, she gives me something else. Huh. Probably shouldn't try to dominate a old Nosferatu. Might be a bad idea. Might be a bad idea. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah. The drink is frozen? And what little non-frozen material is in there is super strong. Holy crap. Let's go for a... How can I make it up to you, dude? I'm sorry this proved disappointing to you, Mr. Kaiser. Can I do something to make it up to you? He seems genuinely impressed. Now that's what I like to hear. Yeah, I was just about to mention it, in fact. I have something in mind. Talk again soon. You do that for me, the address is yours. Now, would you be so kind as to get the fuck out of my car? You're pretty sure you're done here. You get out. You close the door behind you. The car immediately starts backing up, the opaque windows slide by you, and soon the limo is on its way out. Kaiser's lackey is nowhere to be seen, so you make your way to the car and drive back, wondering what tomorrow brings. Alrighty, so half of our night's already taken up. We could go back to, is her name Kara? I don't know what her name is. No, Kara is like the other girl. I don't know I can't remember her name. We could go to her, and, oh, it's Hope. Yeah. We can go to Hope and hang out with Hope. Or we can go and see the Tremere up here and learn about the sorcerers and whatnot. We could go see the Nosferatu and get in good with Kadir. Or we can go and finally look into Tamika. I mean, I kind of just want to keep going down Hope's path, right? Like, it just seems like I've already gone this far. We need to see what's going on, you know? Although, we need to probably meet some of these guys anyway. I'm really interested in the Gangrel, but the Tremere, though. Ooh. You have a Santa Marilyn? Look at that Santa Marilyn. Woo! Hey, what's going on, Crimson? Crimson and other people who have just entered the chat. If you guys look at the bottom, it should say that you have 300 channel points. At which point, I'll let you know that today is a special day. For just 100 channel points, you guys can edit one of the emotes. I recommend Santa Buddy. And you get it for 24 hours. It's pretty good. I'll probably bring up the stuff after tonight, but it is pretty neat. But yes. Are the Gangrel still in the cam in this game? From what they said, this specific sect of Gangrel, which is Jezebel's brood, aren't really a part of the Camarilla, but they listen to the Camarilla. Like they're not a part of the Camarilla, but they don't violate any of the Camarilla's codes. So they're fine for now. Yeah. But with that being said, let's just go, you know what? Let's go and hang out with Tremere here, with the Tremere here. Let's go see what's going on with this guy. You arrive at the address given to you by Sophie, a small bookstore smack dab in the middle of the Broadway, of all places. What really catches you off guard, though, is the store's display. From what you've heard about the Tremere, they are infamous for their ties to the occult and the mystical. And yet, now, looking at the oddball collection of items in the display window, it seems borderline satirical. The books here cover everything from Ayurvedic practices and homeopathy to wellness and self-motivation. Holy fuck. I'm not ready for this! What's the fucking not ready for this? The vaguely amusing juxtapositions don't end there either. You notice a copy of Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible tucked behind a cheap, smiling Buddha. A scientific journal on hematology sits next to a teen-oriented pamphlet on the blood type and personality theory. A number of religious and quasi-religious symbols, lockets, pins, various emblazoned paraphernalia, are haphazardly strewn across the display between the tomes. Before you open the door, you can smell burning incense and hear the corny, Far East-tinged music seeping through the crackling speaker mounted above the entrance. It's much more quaint than what you expected from what Sophie told you at the so-called warlocks. It doesn't look like they have much interest in impressing outsiders. Then again, if there's anything you've learned these past few nights, is that appearances can be deceiving. At this time of night, the shop appears to be closed. Regardless, you ring the bell. You hear someone shuffling around inside. A brief moment later, a latch slides. The door is pushed open just a few inches. A tired-looking blonde in loose clothes appears in the crack. She seems confused, like you just woke her up. She lets out a yawn, scratching at her tattooed neck. Finally, she squints in your general direction. Her pierced lips curve into an awkward smile. Is Agathon in? I'm looking for a guy named Agathon. Is he around? The girl gives you a suspicious look over, but opens the door. She takes a few steps back, and you hear footsteps coming from behind a floral curtain that covers the back door. A bespectacled, smart-looking woman emerges and looks straight at you. Come in and follow me. Just don't touch anything, please. You follow her through the store. Inside, as expected, the stuffy air fills with smells of sandalwood, frankincense, and a dozen other aromas. This is also a thing? Weird? Yeah, it's a weird one. The woman leads you behind a curtain and through the back door onto a rickety staircase. A flight of steps take you up to the second story. You instantly notice a change in decor as the tacky New Age bookstore gives way to something resembling a cross between a library and a workshop. The smell here is strong too, but much more layered. You're not sure what to make of it at first, but with each whiff it becomes apparent. Blood. The aroma, though subtle at first, soon becomes overpowering. It takes you just a moment to adapt and focus. The sub-only thing? Yeah, I got rid of the send a message in sub-only mode thing. I didn't feel that was a good thing. I got rid of that, and currently the highlight message thing I'm not entirely sure about. I feel like that's just kind of a trap to like lure people out of their points. I don't know though. We'll see. We'll see if I take it away or if I leave it. I don't know. Stop poking Buddy in the eye! Takes you a moment to adapt and focus. I don't think you know who you're speaking with, so an introduction is in order. My name is Althing Stewbridge, and I'm a High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs. You are Velvet, correct? I have to say, you're lucky the ward outside of the building is only there for notifications tonight, otherwise it would have been quite unpleasant. To answer your question, Agathon is here, but he's hard at work and I wouldn't want to disturb him. Am I to understand this is a social visit? How do you know who I am? Well, for one thing, knowing who's who in the city is one of my duties as High Regent, but more importantly, you've been on the mind of many a kindred since Langley took you in. It's quite a precedent, as I'm sure you know, a first under Prince Panhard, and for Sophie to be the one to do it, curiouser and curiouser. Still, I'm sure you haven't come here to look for dirt on your sire. That would be unwise. I heard good things about Agathon. Thought I'd drop in and see how much of it was true. Appealing to our vanity. How very original. You better step up your game, fledgling, or New York will eat you right up. Suddenly, a man enters the room. He doesn't even look at you, just lost in his own thoughts.
Have it, Elsing. I think I know how to find it.
He catches himself as he notices you. His face turns sour.
A visitor?
Yes, we were just discussing you, in fact.
Is that so?
I'm looking... Let me introduce myself. My name is Velvet. I've been told you might be interested in teaming up.
Teaming up?
He seems confused by the notion.
What for?
I could use your knowledge. I'm new here, and a scholar like yourself could teach me a lot, I imagine.
You're not wrong.
He turns to Elsing.
High Regent, may I ask your advice on this?
Elsing looks at you with a nary sign of an emotion. I believe that you are far more pressing matters to attend to at the moment, my child.
That's my intuition as well, High Regent.
It's settled then. I would kindly ask you to leave, fledgling. We have many matters to discuss, matters not meant for undiscerning ears. Both the warlocks look at you expectantly. Well, apologies for any inconvenience I may have caused you. Good luck with your work. You make your way downstairs. As you pass the blonde, who now seems to be napping behind her desk, Agathon reappears behind you.
Wait. Come back up for a moment.
Somewhat confused, you follow him back to the workshop. Aelsing is leaning against a wall, watching you both with a keen eye.
Listen, I tend to work alone. I'm not used to socializing. But
he hesitates for a while. When he speaks again, it almost comes out as a mumble.
I could use some help tonight. Would you be interested in teaming up?
Why don't you start by giving our intern here a brief explanation of what it is you're after? Agathon gives Aelsing a hesitant look, but the woman nods approvingly. Encouraged, he turns towards you.
A member of our clan disappeared without a trace a handful of nights ago. While the High Regent investigates if any foul play was involved, I have been tasked with recovering her research notes. If there's anything to recover, that is. I may have an idea of where to start looking, and I suppose this is where you come in. If you truly wish to help, I could use your assistance tonight. Right now, in fact. Given the time we've just wasted on idle chatter, I should leave immediately.
Who's the missing person? A single glance from Aelsing is enough. You can tell you're not getting an answer, at least for now.
We're after her research. That's what you should focus on.
These people aren't in a habit of making things simple. Facing layers upon layers of secrecy, you can only hope that what lies beneath is the real deal.
I'm heading out. Are you coming or not?
Yeah, sure, man.
Very well.
He gives Aelsing a slight bow.
High Regent, with your permission.
She nods.
Before you go, however, Velvet, defer to Agathon in all things. Our clan values obedience above everything else. Prove you can follow, and this might turn into a mutually beneficial relationship. I will await his return and his report. Good luck, my child.
Agathon bows again and heads out, urging you to follow. The High Regent watches you leave. Outside, Agathon leads you to his car. It's almost funny seeing him get behind a wheel. Somehow you'd expect a more mythical means of transportation. You drive south. Fucking... that face, bro! You drive south, heading to the Lower East Side. Agathon seems lost in thought. Either that or he's a very careful driver. Either way, several minutes pass in silence. Nah, just quiet. You decide not to disturb his thoughts. You are surprised that it's him who breaks the silence as you're about halfway over the East River.
Let me ask you something. Why me? There's likely a couple hundred of us kindred in New York, yet you seek out me specifically. Why?
Sophie spoke highly of you. You sounded interesting. Dunno, just give it a shot. You sounded interesting. I've been told a few younger vampires I should meet. You sounded like an interesting guy.
Interesting. I see.
Once more, he grows silent. You're unsure whether to continue prying as your driver seems to disappear into his thoughts. You drive to Williamsburg to stop by a fancy-looking building.
We're here. There's a restaurant on the top floor. You wanted to help, so here's your chance. I need you to get us inside the VIP lobby.
You recognize this place. This is where you were embraced a mere few nights back. Funny how this restaurant is apparently a vampire magnet.
Once we're in, I need about half an hour focus, and then some space. It'll be up to you to keep the attention away from the room. Can you do it?
He doesn't wait for an answer and points to the front door.
Go ahead. I'm right behind you.
The two of you take the elevator up to the restaurant. The door opens and you see there's only a few guests left, sitting at their tables. An important-looking staff member approaches you. Good evening. I'm very sorry, but the restaurant is closing for the night. I can make a reservation for next week if you wish. Oh no, let me in. Just move out of the way. I don't... Just leave. Oh, but we insist. You will take us to enter the VIP lobby and stay there for as long as we like. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. Fucking yeah. You walk in trying to look casual and make your way towards the VIP lobby. You step inside and close the door behind you. This is a familiar sight. The same place where you had your last meal as a mortal. Strange. You should feel something, but the lavishly decorated room looks almost plain to you. Your companion looks at you with something akin to admiration, or at least that's how you choose to interpret the slight change in his usual somber facade.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
He inspects the room. It's unusually cold, and Agathon soon discovers why. Looking behind the curtain, a window hangs open. The handle and lock look like they've been dissolved, as if with acid.
God damn it, Juno.
Looks like she's gone. Whoever Juno is, looks like she's no longer here. A flash of fury sparks in his eyes.
Yeah, no kidding.
He takes a frantic look around the room.
This changes things. Keep an eye on the door. I'll need some time. Half an hour, at the very least. Nobody disturbs me. Understand?
He hastily pushes a couch and some potted plants out of the way, moves a bar stool, and takes out a curved knife, cutting into his own arm. He lets some of his blood drip onto the wooden floor. And it's pretty fucked up, the way in which the flesh oozes the deep red, thick vatae. Vatae? Vatae, vatae, vatae. In life, you'd have found it stomach-churning, but right now you feel weirdly turned on by the sight. Fucking what? Which follows more disturbing yet. With one hand, he sheaths the knife and seals the wound. With the other, he smears the blood all around him while muttering some weird chant. It sounds vaguely Latin, but you're pretty sure it isn't. It's all more than a little discerning, but he seems to know what he's doing.
Ease play, et lay, e may, eindfe, I may, Earl Gay. Abracadabra.
A few moments later, the circle starts glowing faintly as thin wisps of smoke surround Agathon. He sits down in the middle, legs crossed, eyes closed. Minutes pass. Agathon's face twitches from time to time as his head turns around every now and then, as if he's looking around or listening on a conversation. The smoke grows thicker, forming a veil around the mage. You expected something more flashy, but it's still a sight to behold. You wonder what the point of it all is, but refrain from asking. It's probably best to let Agathon do his thing. For close to 30 minutes, you're left to your own devices. Suddenly, the door swings open and the manager storms in, ready to raise hell. The initial haze must have worn off quicker than usual. Calm him down. You try to calm the man down, but he'll have none of it. He keeps shouting and threatens to call security. That's when Agathon finally gets up off the floor. He shakes his head and casually walks over to the sofa, picking something up from between the cracks in the upholstery.
We're done here. Let's go.
Who the hell do you think you are? Get out of my restaurant this instant!
Fuck you. I hate you.
Not wanting to make his situation any worse, you walk out sheepishly. The manager follows you all the way to the elevator, shouting and cursing. Agathon doesn't seem particularly fazed by any of this. The restaurant staff throw you some curious glances as you walk toward the elevator, but wisely decide not to bother you. The ride down feels tense. You half expect to see a police car waiting outside. Agathon only seems to relax when you're back in the car. He starts the engine and takes a ride at the Continental Army Plaza, back to the bridge toward Manhattan. You're just about to say something when Agathon beats you to it.
That went better than I expected, all things considered.
It might have been a trick of the light, but you're pretty sure you just saw a smile.
I'm used to working alone, but what I'm dealing with right now, it might require some more assistance. And you seem, capable enough.
Yeah, man. I can do more, you know. I can do more than watch your back while you're channeling Madame Blavatsky. or Blavatsky.
Can you now? I guess we'll find out next time.
That seems to deplete his social battery for the night. You drive the rest of the way in silence. Doesn't take you long to reach the warlock's hideout. Agathon waves at you absent-mindedly, once again lost in his thoughts, hopelessly so. One of these nights you should probably take him up on his offer. Who knows? If you gain his trust, maybe you can actually break through his stoic facade and meet the man underneath. I like him! He's a cool boy! Let's go to sleep. Uh-oh. You're walking down the street towards your haven. In some other town, the sidewalks would be deserted this time of night, but in NYC, there's plenty of passerby going about their business. It's easy to be paranoid when you're a vampire surrounded by a crowd of humans. The kindred may have enemies, but all those enemies have one trait in common. They're invisible, indistinguishable from normal humanity. Other vampires, hunters, all look like people. Is that old man just a tired restaurant worker, or a kindred thrall tailing your movements? Are the officers idly waiting in a patrol car ordinary cops, or Second Inquisition specialists looking to end undead threats? This kind of thinking leads to madness, but you can't shake the feeling that someone's watching you. It's not the first time you felt like this. Whatever this is, it's probably something you have to take care of. Best case, someone is tailing you. Worst case, you'll be attacked and killed. Unfortunately, being undead has its limitations. The sun is coming up soon and you'll burn to a crisp if you stay on the streets. You reach your haven and settle in for the day. Disconcerted by the idea someone might know where you sleep. We're dead! As you wake from your slumber and emerge from your haven for the night, you notice a familiar face on the other side of the street, standing in the corner and looking straight at you. It's Kaiser's lackey, whom you met recently, Jackie. He nods to you, encouraging you to approach. You can tell he's guarded and suspicious after what you made him do last time you met. His hands are out of his pockets, though. A sign of goodwill?
That's close enough.
Says who?
Says who, buddy?
You take a step forward. Hey, don't push it unless you want me to draw attention to us near the place where you crashed for the day. Plus, the boss will be pissed. Well, more pissed. I got something to pass on to you.
He produces a crumpled piece of paper from his jacket pocket and hands it to you.
Read it, memorize it, then give it back here.
It's a letter. The paper might be a page ripped out from a spiral notebook, but the writing on it is exquisitely detailed and deliberate. It reads,
Time to square the debt with me. Come to the wine shop at 232 Mulberry Street and ask for the 1821 Special Reserve Donatello Negramaro. When they tell you they don't have it, say you're a Fedele Servitor delle... holy shit. I'm not showing my Italian today, am I? Ah, fuck. Fedele Servitor della Famiglia G. God. Those exact fucking words. And make sure you get the G right. You'll get a bottle, just take it and leave by saying grazie. Don't ask how much it is or anything else, just walk out. When you have it, come back to Jackie Boy here and let him know. You done? Memorize that shit and hand it over.
Where's the rush, buddy?
Hey, it's your funeral. I can stand here all night and even enjoy a nice sunrise while I'm at it. Not a luxury you have.
Just hand me back the letter once you're done. You notice phrases mentioned in the letter and the address, then hand the letter back to Jackie. He immediately reaches for the lighter and burns it, putting out the ashes with his boot.
So yeah, when you do what the boss asks, come back here so I can tell you where to go next. I'll be in that alley over there, so find me when you have the item, whatever it is, I don't know. The boss made it extra clear that I shouldn't care, so I don't. See ya.
He shuffles away and leaves you to pursue the lead in the letter. Time to pay a visit to Nolita. You arrive at the address mentioned on the note. Not counting the local restaurant patrons, the street is mostly empty at this time of night, but curiously, the wine shop is still open. Inside, a small middle-aged woman with curly hair stands behind the counter in front of the entire wall of wine bottles. There's a door at the end of the room with a small table and chair occupied by a man with slick comb-backed hair who's dressed in a black faux leather jacket. He's reading a newspaper, but pauses as a little bell rings, and you open the door. He takes a sip from a small, steaming cup, like this. Okay, don't do that. Oh, God. Ah! Okay. And then gets back to his broadsheet. Good evening. How can I help? I'll be direct. I would like a bottle of 1821 Special Reserve Donatello Negramara, please. Let me check our stock. She seems to be looking through a database on the laptop sitting on the computer. She puts on a polite smile. I'm afraid we don't have that one at the moment. Sorry. Recite the phrase. I'm a fedele servitor della Famiglia G. Ah, in that case, let me see if we have any in the back. Wait here, please. The woman leaves the counter and goes through the doors in the back. The man by the table puts down his newspaper and takes another sip from the cup, washing it down with a gulp of water from a nearby glass. He tries to hide it, but there's no doubt he's watching you. About a minute passes. Mind if I borrow your newspaper? The man takes out a pen and ostentatiously begins solving a Sudoku puzzle, his eyes darting to you every so often. The doors in the back of the store open and the proprietor emerges with a small, unlabeled, squat bottle of crimson liquid. She gives you an apologizing smile. Excuse me, sorry for taking so long. And it turns out we did have it. She offers you the bottle and you reach out and grab it, but she retracts it. You do know what this is, don't you? I'm not supposed to say anything else, right? Like, I'm not supposed to say anything else, I'm just supposed to take it and go, right? Take it and leave us saying ah! Neither of these are grazie! I know what grazie is! I know what grazie is, Cyan. I'm part Italian. But I still... Neither of these are what they're saying. It's fine, Cyan. I don't really know a lot of it ever since my grandfather died. Well, you're a wine shop, so it's wine, surely. Well, of course, the best kind of wine. Enjoy. She winks at you. Deciding you pushed her luck far enough, you nod next to the store. I didn't say grazie! Take a brief walk to your car, and nobody follows you as you leave Nolita and drive back to your apartment. I didn't say grazie! Takes you some time before you find a parking spot, but finally you get out of the car and start looking for Jackie. He's not far from where you parted ways just under 2 hours ago.
Got the goods?
Sure do.
Cool. Stand by. Gotta make a call.
Takes a few more steps to the narrow space between two buildings and takes out the high-tech phone you saw him carry last time.
Hey, boss. Yeah, they have it. Where do I point them to? Okay. Yeah, I'll tell them to go there right away.
He puts the phone back into his pocket and turns back to you.
Willets Point. Half an hour. So you better step on it. See you around.
Just a flippant salute, Jackie starts walking down the street and you make your way back to the car and drive. Hello? Thought I heard somebody knocking on my door. You had to push the speed limit to make it on time, but you're here, Willets Point. It's quite a change of scenery, but it's a post-industrial dump, a nearby stadium notwithstanding. You stop your car once you realize that if you go any further down, the potholes are going to kill your chassis. You step out into one of the gashes of the asphalt, splashing in ankle-deep water. This place sucks! Kaiser's limo's nowhere to be seen. In fact, the whole place is pretty much deserted, other than the apparent proprietor of a lonely bar, a middle-aged woman, who's just locking the place up. I mean... I should probably eat. Haven't eaten in a while.
I mean, I guess it's time to eat, right?
This is just too perfect of an opportunity not to take advantage of. She's walking to her car, ready to call it a night when you sneak up on her. She's too tired to resist your strong hold and swift bite. You can taste the caffeine in her veins, smell the cheap cigarettes in her hair, the old cooking grease in her clothes. She passes out. Your assault the closing note of a long day at work. You let her down gently, feel a pang of remorse. You pick up her car keys that she dropped and place her in the driver's seat. She'll find an explanation for passing out like this, for sure. The bright lights of a car pulling down the road illuminate you as you close the door. It's the black limo. Kaiser is finally there, it would seem. Same as last time, the car doors open, but nobody comes out. You know the drill. This time, Kaiser is visible first time you look inside. You sit down and close the door behind you.
So you pulled it off without a hitch then? Give it here.
Hand the bottle over to the Nosferatu. He uncorks it gently, takes a whiff, and then puts a cork back in.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Good job, kid. Consider your debt paid. Oh yeah, and also have this. It's what Langley wanted.
He passes you an envelope with what feels like a thick card inside. Thank you, Mr. Kaiser.
Yeah. I'll send Jackie over if I need anything else from you. How about that? Time for you to get out now.
He waves you out of the car with an envelope in hand. You get back to the torn asphalt and decrepit surroundings as the limo slowly drives away. Finally, you can return to Sophie and bring her what she wanted. Motherfucking Gregory lets you in as you hear a shrill, unpleasant laugh that you realize Sophie's having a guest over. He's the man from the Elysium, the one with the glasses and a good taste in suits. You haven't had a chance to talk to him last you saw him. Ah, Velvet, glad to see you. Tell me, did the two of you meet before? The man doesn't wait for you to answer. He approaches you with an energetic, almost dance-like step, puts his hand out. Thomas Arturo, I heard about you. Pleasure. Thomas is a great source of gossip and an excellent conversationalist. I've also got the prince's ear, which is the primary reason dear Miss Langley wished to speak to me tonight. Good gossip, even coming from me, isn't nearly as valued. Sad. Sophie's taken aback by the man's direct comment, but smiles politely. The awkward atmosphere is broken again by the guest's grating laugh. I joke, of course, I joke! Well, I was about to leave anyway, so I'll leave you two to it. Good night, Sophie, Velvet, Greggy boy. Don't you speak to Gregory like that. Unless he told you to. Sophie's driver opens the door for Arturo, and the guest steps out with a single wave of his hand and towards his host and you. The door is closed. Quite a character, isn't he? Yes, quite, but he has his uses. Thomas has clout in court and access to many juicy details on everyone from the prince to the lowliest primogen. It's useful to have him on your side, even if his eccentricity requires some patience. Speaking of patience, you have been putting mine to the test lately. Did you manage to contact Kaiser and acquire what I asked for? Yes, but I had to do another job for him. Yes, I have it, but the data you offered was old news to him. I had to do another job for him before he gave me his card. He retrieves the envelope from you. I'm sure he did. I do hope it wasn't much of an inconvenience. He made me go to an entire separate escapade to retrieve a bottle of wine from a store in Nolita. I had to use code phrases and whatnot. Wine shop? Code phrases? That degenerate pest. She's visibly agitated, but calms down and smiles at you. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that whatever Kaiser had you do, it'll blow over. She opens the envelope and looks at the card. You notice the same lettering you saw in Kaiser's note from before, but can't see the details. Her eyes widen. Yes, excellent. I need to call on some favors. I will likely be busy for the next few nights. You have my permission to show some initiative, my dear charge. I will contact you soon. With that, Sophie ushers you outside, and you're left to do the rest of the night's hours as you like. Cool. We can go and talk to the boy. Oh, wait, no. Actually, I thought that was the church boy. That's not the church boy. Somebody's watching me part 1. Recently, I feel like someone's even telling you. Time to confirm your suspicions. Oh! That's a new thing. That's a new thing. It's new. What do we do, my dudes? We can go to Hope, which I don't really like Hope too much, to be fair. But, you know, we could go to Hope. We could go to Agathon, which, honestly, Agathon's more my speed. I kind of like Agathon. Or we can see what the fuck's going on here. What do you guys think?
New thing spotted.
New thing? Everybody's saying new thing. Let's go new thing. Someone is following you around. Has been for a few nights, maybe longer. That can't be a good thing. The only question is what to do about it. You venture out onto the street with the goal of letting your stalker know that you're aware of being followed. It's time to stop this ridiculous charade. It's raining outside, and as you step onto the street in front of your haven, you wonder whether that'll help you. Will you be able to see the footprints of your stalker in the puddles on the ground? Not sure where to start, you slip a few bills to a homeless man and chat up the guy who runs the local bodega. Both talk your ear off and about strange characters hanging around, but none of their stories seem right to you. Walking the streets, you're by turns convinced that everyone you see is an enemy agent out to get you and that your stalker has decided to take a night off. Frustrated after a couple of hours of useless searching, you cross the road without looking where you're going. A courier on a motorbike zooms towards you, not having enough time to brake or swerve as you suddenly step in his way. For a split second, your eyes meet those of a man on a bike. You both know you'll collide. You'll get hurt. Something hits you, pushes you forward. You tumble, flying onto the sidewalk as the courier zooms past. You feel a weight on your back and catch the glimpse of something, a person, female you think, and then she disappears. You could spend a couple more hours trying to find the woman who's stalking you, but in your shriveled, undead heart, you know it to be futile. She's gone. Damn it! We should rest. Damn. Shit. Haruka Junko. What's going on here? We're just doing oh, what the hell? And more new things! Who that? Knows a reporter. Go back to Faith and Myth. But the Agathon... So many people we could go to. I want to check out the new thing. We're going to a nosy reporter. See what's going on. The street lights filter into an apartment in the stark white glow as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces display a tasteful expense entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed by these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter her living room, shaking her head. You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your satirical limitations. I've tried to dress inconspicuously because of the masquerade. That's very sensible of you. I suppose I should commend you for that. Sophie walks to the window and looks out, the streetlights playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects. You'd think that as a vampire, at least we wouldn't have to worry about the vultures of the press. Unfortunately, when you have power and ability, there's always parasites trying to feed on you. I used to have a journalist friend. Then you know what they're like. Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa, wine glass with red liquid in it, blood, treated as to not spoil. You become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any, as you cautiously sit down across from her. This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash, talked to my neighbors. Please be a dear and explain to him there's nothing for him here. Is this about the masquerade? It's a big deal for us, right? Indeed, you're learning. This must happen often. How do you usually deal with it? Everyone has their own way. Sometimes the problem goes away with a bit of money or sharp words. Other times you need something more. Do you know anything about the reporter? Man, woman, young, old, anything like that? All gossip reporters look the same to me. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to. You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the game she plays with the city's mortal and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move. Outside the street, there's a slight warm drizzle, the kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you come back to your haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. I will investigate! You start with the basics of investigative work. You ask the proprietor of the bodega around the corner and the homeless man sleeping nearby way. I always go to those two. And the doorman of another building. I always watch for anyone strange. Detective work seems to produce results. You get a description of a man who sounds like a reporter. Older, overweight, pasty, bad physical condition. Professional camera. Once you know what you're looking for, it's not difficult. You spot a man who matches the description and follow him. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy space between two tall buildings. Once upon a time, this might have worried you, made you think of muggings or violence. Now it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you're following seems to realize this too. He holds the camera up in front of him like a shield. It's a heavy objective resting on his paunch. With a start, you recognize him. You remember his face, the shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline and some trashy paper someone thrust in your face at a company party. His name is Frank Doherly. He's taken pictures of one of your investors feeling up a sex worker at a nightclub. You've been there too, and the funny thing was, what Doherly showed in the photo was just the tip of the iceberg. After all, work hard and play hard was the order of the day. Hey, don't go around scaring people like that! You're Frank Doherty. I recognize you from that thing. You're a fake reporter, right? I'm a real reporter, damn it! What are you reporting on? I'm not sure you can help me. Well, perhaps you can. Do you live here? Working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high society circles. She's a redhead, pretty as a picture, and there were a lot of pictures of her through the years. The thing is, in fact, look at this. Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from society pages of newspaper from the past decades. All show Sophie. She has different clothes, hairstyles, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. So you're a stalker of some sort? Come on, I'm just doing my job. Well, you're Frank Doherty, a legendary reporter, so this must be important. Frank is visibly delighted by your words, no matter how insincere they were. As a reporter, you never know where the story will take you. 3 words: extreme plastic surgery. All celebrities do it. Only your doctor is better than the rest. Only her doctor is better than the rest. You look critically at the photos on Frank's phone. Sure, I guess. If you find who the surgeon is, let me know. I could have some work done. You're right. Makes no sense. Damn. So how would you explain it? Have you considered the possibility that those pictures are a hoax? Sure. Anything can be a hoax, but I dug these old papers from archives myself. Gotta have something usable. Oh, wow. Let's see here. Leave and destroy your research. You look Frank in the eyes. They're red behind the shaded glasses. Veins popped into years of neglecting his body. Suddenly, he seems soft, easy to manipulate. His will nothing but plaster crumbling under your boot. Go home and destroy your research on Sophie Langley. As your vampiric gaze takes over Frank's mind, he feels less than a person and more of an automaton, a machine you can program. Perhaps this is why other older vampires are said to think of humans as nothing but animals. How can you consider someone a thinking person with free will when you can override them at any moment? Frank is mumbling, fondling his camera, itching around you to the entrance of the alley. He looks sad and worn as he goes, a man who's used to be something, but now is just a shell. Feels almost embarrassing to use the powers of your blood on someone so weak. At least you're pretty sure he'll stay away. That's fucking right! I saved the day! I did it! All by myself! Let's do one more before we end things off for the night. Let's go back to the boy. Let's go back to Agathon and see what's going on there. You know what to expect when you return to the small bookstore serving as Agathon's haven. The cacophony of occult imagery assaults you from the book covers displaying on the windows, but under the fake facade, there's something real. This time, the Buddhas and the satanic Bibles in the storefront seem almost funny, or perhaps you just started to tune into the dry humors of these Tremere. Just as you're about to ring the doorbell, the door opens and Agathon storms out. You step aside just in time to avoid having him stumble into you.
Velvet, what are you doing here?
I came to help you. Like last time.
Okay, fine. You're right. Follow me.
As he turns to go, Agathon looks almost pleased that you're here. Agathon walks to the car with you in tow. It didn't occur to you the last time, but it's a surprisingly pedestrian vehicle, an aging mid-sized family sedan. You imagine what it would look like with a baby seat in the back. Opening up the door on the driver's side, Agathon notices your look.
Laugh all you want, but it's an inconspicuous and practical.
You sit in the car and Agathon begins driving his usual careful style. At least you'll never be stopped by traffic cops. It seems Agathon is not interested in small talk. Stay silent. You decide it's best to let Agathon drive in peace. Agathon's very comfortable driving in silence. You look out your window, wondering at the ordinary lives of the people you pass by. Suddenly, Agathon snaps you out of your reverie.
Let me ask you something, Velvet. Do you enjoy the hunt?
Ooh. No.
I just can't get over the fact that I used to be one of these people. The prey a short time ago. Even if it feels good in the moment, in the long run, it doesn't.
I know how that feels. Many kindred are suspicious of the Tremere, but I believe that we are on the verge of discovering something that will be a great boon to our kind.
For a second, Agathon sounds so sincere. You take a look at him to make sure he isn't joking. Doesn't seem so. You exit Manhattan over the Brooklyn Bridge and soon reach the side of the nightclub that seems to be your destination. It's on the riverfront, a converted former warehouse. After Agathon's parked the car, it's time for you to enter the nightclub. You glance at the Tremere, evaluating him. It's obvious that this is not his kind of place. You may have worked in finance, but your colleagues got to some crazy shit if they did enough cocaine. You're not a party girl, but you don't stand out at the nightclub. Agathon does.
There's a good chance the research notes are here.
Let's go. Let's not waste any time.
Excellent.
There's a line to the club. It looks popular, even if based on the crowd. This is not exactly the place for supermodels and celebrities. Let's just get in. You walk up to the man at the door and smile. Hey, you remember me, right? Mind if we go in? The bouncer looks at you, taken in by your supernatural charisma. It doesn't matter whether he really remembers you or not.
Sure, go on in. Have a great night.
You walk into the club, ignoring all the people standing in line. The music beats down on you, bringing with it memories of a human existence. The first time you went dancing with friends, when you flirted with someone on the dance floor. This time it's different. You're a predator, and everyone around you is prey. Tightly packed, twitching sacks of blood and tissue. You sense the emotions all around you. Blood tinted with happiness, lust, rage, jealousy, love. A buffet of sensations.
Focus. Keep an eye out for trouble while I'm looking for what we came to find.
You nod and follow Agathon in through the throng, trying to ignore all the warmth, flesh, and circulating blood around you. Numb. I'm kidding. Let's just go. Eyes on the ball. You came here to help Agathon. Damn it! And that's what you're gonna do. Agathon wades through the dancing people purposefully, yet you have no idea how he searches for the missing research notes. Perhaps he's using the enhanced senses as a vampire or some esoteric sorcery. At least he seems to know what he's doing.
Juno.
You swerve to avoid a drunken man who is about to spill beer onto you to try to see what Agathon's looking at. A young woman, intense, purposeful, a little out of place at the nightclub, just like you and Agathon. Juno?
She's Tremere, a renegade. Bad news.
That woman, Juno, elbows a drunken man out of her way and points a finger at Agathon's face. Agathon, you traitor! Don't you dare stand between me and what's mine! You look at the woman in surprise. Her appearance stands in contrast with the anger to her words.
Juno, you know Elsing will not let you leave with these notes. Perhaps she won't let you leave at all.
Juno pulls close to Agathon's face and stage whispers loudly enough for you to hear her over the music. You're so brainwashed you care about what Elsing fucking Sturbridge wants. I'm done jumping through her hoops. I don't know what I saw in you, Agathon. You're such a lapdog. What do you mean brainwashed? Are you brainwashed, Agathon? Agathon looks around the dimly lit crowd, clearly too exasperated for words. That's what they do in the pyramid. Recruit us into loyal little soldiers for the Council of Seven, but no more.
That's not the same thing as brainwashing. I work with Elsing out of my own free will.
Are you seriously telling me that Elsing asked your permission before she turned you into a fucking vampire? Agathon winces visibly at the word vampire. Fortunately, the loud beat of the music drowns out Juno's voice. That would make her unique among our kind. They sure as fuck didn't ask me.
Actually, many vampires embrace only after asking for permission.
This is so like you, Agathon. You just can't let anything go without making one of your little corrections.
Juno, please.
Juno steps back, suddenly cold. Ignoring the people dancing all around, she stares around at Agathon. The past is past. The traditions are dead to me. You won't stop me, Agathon. I'll make sure that here and now, you know I have the power.
No. Juno, please!
Agathon sounds panicked. He's not worried about his own survival, but the possibility that Juno's going to unleash a genuine Masquerade breach. You fucking calm down, bitch! Calling out the powers of your blood, you step close to Juno between her and Agathon. Agathon was being an asshole. Don't hurt yourself just to get at him. He's not worth it. Juno looks you in the eyes. You can see that she's tired and scared. Deflecting from the Tremere is not easy or safe. You're... right. She turns to go, then stops and glances back at you. You should pick your friends better. With that, Juno walks through the oblivious dancers toward the exit. Looking around, you realize Agathon didn't stay to witness your exchange with Juno. Instead, he worked his way around the dancing crowd looking for the notes using his arcane methods. After Juno is gone, he returns shaking his head. The notes were here, but not anymore. It's possible someone had them when they were hunted here. After making sure Juno's nowhere to be seen, you and Agathon push your way outside. Outside, you walk to Agathon's car and drive back over the Brooklyn Bridge to Manhattan, heading for Agathon's den. Juno mentioned some things that are personal. I trust your discretion in not talking about these things to Elsing. Your love is your business. Thank you. After a while, you reach Agathon's haven and he parks his car. You walk to the occult bookstore and Agathon asks you inside. The smell of incense assaults you as before, making you grateful not to have to breathe. You follow Agathon upstairs and find Elsing Sturbridge in an armchair reading an old book. She puts a bookmark in place as you come in.
You were successful, I hope.
No, I'm sorry. The notes have been there, but not anymore.
That's a shame. I hope you won't run out of time. How did Sophie's little protege do?
Agathon turns to look at you.
Well, surprisingly well.
That's a surprise. I'll have to give Sophie a compliment on her choice.
We met Juno. Fortunately, she hasn't found the notes either.
That's interesting.
The High Regent turns to look at you. What? She's very driven, motivated. I don't think she'll desist easily.
You're probably right. Juno could have made a great member of our house in different circumstances. Instead, she became a headache. You'll understand if you have a child of your own some night, fledgling. Anyway, I have some things to discuss with Agathon. Go along now.
You leave the occult bookstore, cheesy mystical music still in your ears as you walk away.
You wonder about what happened with Juno. Why is she so anxious to leave her clan? Can she really do that? Could you leave Sophie's service if you wanted to? Why did that say that was said by me, whenever it was in fact something that you said in your fucking head? This game has a lot of weird glitches and bugs like that, I guess. But hey, whatever, who cares? Let's be perfectly honest, no one's really paying too much attention to that part. But, you know.
Alright. Guys, we played about an hour and a half. Very short stream. But I wanted to make sure that I got a couple more parts of this out. I want to try to finish this before the new year. So we're going to try. We're going to try to see if we can finish before the new year. And hopefully these little tiny streams in the middle of things will help out. Because, like, the tiny streams are good to get something done. They're not very good for keeping, I guess, attention. But it is to... The bigger ones are like a bigger time commitment, you know what I mean? I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We enjoyed ourselves. Before I leave, any of you guys who haven't done it, if you go into your thing for the channel points, you can spend your channel points to modify any of the emotes that you can see there for 100 points right now. Whenever we go to Avatar today, that point goal will go up. So right now, for this stream only, you guys will be able to get those emotes for 100 points. I will give you guys 5 minutes. You guys have a little bit of time to do so. Go ahead and try to give yourselves any of those emotes. Spend all the points you have, because again, when we start the game up later today, when we start the one over at the Avatar game, then you guys will not have this extra little bit of time. I believe like the thing for the emotes goes all the way up to like 900 points usually. I might bring that down. Not sure yet. It'll definitely be over 500, because again, you want to make sure that the people who sub are the ones who still get rewarded. You know what I mean? You don't want to just give out the emotes willy-nilly. So I will bring the stuff back up. So make sure you guys get all of the emotes you want. Use all the points you have. And yeah, if there's any questions about this game or about the RPs or about the channel, go ahead and let me know. We can have a little bit of a tiny Q&A at the end of this, just to kind of pass some time to see if you guys want to get some of those emotes or not. Let's see here. What is going on right now? Someone's... Oh, geez, that's a lot of messages. Holy crap. Who is that? Oh, I think a bot started messaging me during the stream. How dare. Caliber is the best vampire? Probably. Let's be honest here. He's probably the best vampire. He's sucking off so many other... I'm kidding. Today should be fun. I hope you guys are looking forward to Avatar tonight. It should be pretty fun. Depending on what they do, there could be a big fight, or there could be not a fight. Who's to say? Really depends on who they decide to ally themselves with, who they decide to do things with. But it'll be pretty fun. Avatar Blue and Dragon Heist. What monk path will you take? I'm going Elementalist. I'm going monk. I'm going to be a monk of the elements. Or the 4 elements. The path of 4 elements, or whatever it's called. Way of 4 elements. One of those. It's going to be pretty fun. It's not the best from what I've read of it, but it is definitely interesting, and I like interesting. So that's what we're doing. It also has a really high damage cap for like certain abilities, so it's something that I could definitely get used to as far as certain roles and things are considered. It's not the best, but you heard it can be fun. At later levels, it's actually super fucking strong, because you can put extra points, extra key points into certain abilities. If you put them into spell abilities, then you can only go up to half of your monk level. But if you put them into certain abilities, you can put as many key points as you want into them, and it gets really crazy. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the best for me, but we'll see. We'll have to see how things are. Yeah, don't recommend it if you're not playing high level. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I also got, recently, because we leveled up at the end of the last game, I also got, deflect missiles, which is going to be a lot easier for me now, because now maybe I won't instantly die to everything. We'll have to find out. We'll have to see. That's going to be pretty fun. But I think there's been enough time for you guys to go off and get the emotes. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, or wisecracks, put in the comments below. We'll probably come back to this sometime either tomorrow or the next day. Who's to say? But have you ever considered doing a battle cleric? I have a cleric in mind, but they are not a battle cleric. I have a cleric in mind, though. Hopefully one day you'll see her. We'll see. We'll see if you see her one day. But yes, until next time, guys, like always, later days. I'm really looking forward to my cleric if it happens one day.